On November 16, 1966, I was 12 years old. I saw an ad for a musical play about a mystical night society. The name of the show was Evening Primrose, and it was about a poet who wants to get away from the pressures of world, so he hides in a department store. Then he comes across a group of hermits who've been hiding in the store for years. Among them is a young girl he falls in love with. I watched it, and oh my God, it was incredible. I loved it. I don't know what it was, but it was visceral. I was so excited that the next day I ran into the schoolyard and I asked my friends, "Oh my God, did you see that movie on TV last night called Evening Primrose? Wasn't it fabulous? Wasn't it great?" All my friends looked at me as if I had three heads. They were like, "What are you talking about? We were watching I Spy." That's when I realized I had fallen in love with Stephen Sondheim's music. I didn't understand it, but I knew there was something very special there. Now, in this song, the young girl sings about her memories of having lived in the outside world.
I remember trees, bare as coat racks, spread like broken umbrellas, and parks and bridges, ponds and zoos, ruddy faces, muddy shoes, lights and noise and bees and boys and days. I remember days, or at least I try. But as years go by, they're a sort of haze, and the bluest ink isn't really sky. And at times I think I would gladly die for a day of sky.
My next experience with Stephen Sondheim was seeing the show Company, which opened on April 26, 1970. Music and lyrics by Stephen Sondheim, directed by Harold Prince. This was the beginning of their collaboration. I was 16 years old and I went with a group of high school friends, and we were so crazy about the show, we went back to see it about 4 times. I was blown away by this modern music about New Yorkers. We were New Yorkers watching other New Yorkers on stage. In the music, I could hear the energy of New York, the horns, the taxi cabs, the noises on the street, people rushing around. It was all expressed in the music. As I got older and I began to listen to the recording and seeing other productions, I began to realize that this was a sophisticated show. Sondheim had done something no other composer had done. He brought into the music and lyrics the complexity of the ambivalence we feel in life. He talks about opposite emotions that we feel. We can feel more than one thing at a time. It's also the first time that New Yorkers were forced to look at modern marriage on stage and all the problems in it. This song I'm going to play, Sorry Grateful, talks about the difficulty in dealing with the complexity of our emotions. And in this case, it is marriage. You have to listen very carefully to the words. I know that becomes a cliche, but you really do.
You're always sorry. You're always grateful. You're always wondering what might have been. Then she walks in, and still you're sorry, and still you're grateful, and still you wonder, and still you doubt, and when she goes out. Everything's different, nothing's changed, only maybe slightly rearranged. You're sorry, grateful, regretful, happy. Why look for answers where none occur? You always are what you always were, which has nothing to do with, all to do with her.
The next song I'm going to play is called Being Alive. At the end of the show, the character Robert, who was based on Warren Beatty, who was Stephen Sondheim's college roommate. Robert is alone during the whole show. He has a problem with commitment, but at the end of the show, he realizes that despite the problems of marriage and having a relationship, that might be the answer, so he asks for it. Here we have Raúl Esparza.
But alone is alone, not alone. Somebody crowned me with love, somebody forced me to care, somebody let me come through. I'll always be there, as frightened as you, to help us survive. Being alive, being alive, being
The next Sondheim show I saw was A Little Night Music, which opened on February 25th, 1973. I was 19 years old, and I remember Boris Aronson's beautiful set of birch trees. All the music in the show is written in a waltz meter. I went to see the show with my friend Ken from school, and I was blown away again. I mean, it was a wonderful show. One image I'll never forget is Glynis Johns in that stunning red dress singing Send in the Clowns. Now, Sondheim doesn't really mean clowns. He means fools. He's quoting a theater reference that says, if a show isn't going well, send in the clowns. In other words, let's do the jokes. And here, all the characters are fools. Desiree's an actress who spent most of her life never settling down until she meets a lover from her past and she realizes she still loves him. But he's married to a young girl. All the characters in this show are with the wrong partners. But by the end of the show, everything's worked out. All the characters wind up with the right partner, and Desiree ends up with Friedrich the lawyer, who she's in love with. Now here's Glynis Johns.
Opening doors, finally knowing the one that I wanted was yours. Making my entrance again with my usual flair. Sure of my lines, no one is there. Don't you love farce? My fault, I fear. I thought that you'd want what I want. Sorry, my dear. But where are the clowns? Quick, send in the clowns. Don't bother, they're here. Isn't it rich? Isn't it queer? Losing my timing this late in my career. And where are the clowns? maybe next year.
The next song I'm going to play is Liaisons, which is sung by Desiree's mother, Madame Armfeldt, the oldest character in the show. She was once a great courtesan, and the song reflects on her past lovers. She also has her regrets. Now, I found a clip which was sung by Glynis Johns, who was in a production of it in LA in 2019. Now, just think about it. She was once Desiree. She played Desiree in the original. Now she takes on the part of Madame Armfeldt.
Now, where was I? In the castle of the King of the Belgians. We would visit through a false chiffonier. In the castle of the King of the Belgians. When things got rather touchy, and he did make a duchy. Liaisons, what's happened? Liaisons today. Untidy. Take my daughter, I taught her, I tried my best to point the way. I even named her Desiree. In a world where the kings are employers, where the amateur remains and delicacy fails today. In a world where the princes are lawyers, what can anyone expect except recollect? Liaison.
Hi, this is George. I was so excited to do this video about my discovery of Sondheim and how I really began to understand his work. I think this man is an absolute genius. Every show he writes is different, and yet we know it's a Sondheim show. His voice comes across in every show that he does. He's really one of the most important figures in 20th century musical theater. He's praised for having reinvented American musical theater. His shows tackle unexpected themes that range far beyond traditional musical subjects. His music and lyrics have an unprecedented complexity and sophistication, and his songs show the ambivalence about various aspects of life. The next song I'm going to play is from the show Sunday in the Park with George, about the artist George Seurat. Sometimes artists miss out on life because they're so obsessed with their work. My favorite part of this song is the last line. Look, I made a hat where there never was a hat. As an artist myself, when I first heard this, it made me think about my work that I do, and I realized as artists, we create things out of nothing. So where there was nothing, we've created something, and that's an accomplishment. I wish you all the best. Please join me next week. Please subscribe, like, tell your friends, check out the links below. I put some good stuff in there, and until we meet again, I wish you the very best.
Studying her face, stepping back to look at her face, leaves a little space in the way, like a window. But to see, it's the only way to see. And when the woman that you wanted goes, you can say to yourself, well, I give what I give. But the woman who won't wait for you knows that however you live, there's a part of you always standing by, mapping out the sky. Finishing a hat, starting finishing a hat. Look, I made a hat. Well, it never was a hat.